And now from the CFTK TV studios, this is Open Connection, brought to you by Rio Tinto Alcan.
Thanks for staying with us. So now we've finished the workout with North Coast Fitness gym troll and trainer Adam Urenko. Now we will be hearing from Changing You author Cole Clifford. Cole is from Burns Lake and runs a home business with his wife selling weight loss products. In this segment, he joins us to discuss his book and the importance of nutrition to having a healthy body.
It's partly a weight loss book. It's also a book about increasing one's strength. The subtitle is Your Guide to a Slimmer, Stronger Body. And basically, about 20 years ago, I was running a gymnasium in Burns Lake. And so many of my customers came in that wanted changes. The large people wanted to be smaller. The skinny ones wanted to be more muscular. And there was plenty of people that came in that looked just fine in clothing, but they were soft and weak and they wanted to get stronger. And they would try to make the changes that they wanted, whatever it was, by just pursuing a hard, diligent program of exercise. And after 2 or 3 months, probably nothing would have happened. They might have gotten stronger, but they looked the same. And that's when most people will quit going to a gym, totally discouraged. So I realized that the biggest part of the battle is nutritional. And I was always going over the same information about what you should be eating, how much of it you should be eating, when you should be eating it, with everybody, that I got tired of parroting it all out to every different customer, so I wrote it all down in a book. And that's how it started.
Who reads this book? I know it's been out for a little while now, so who do you want to pick up this book? Those people?
Well, my main target market at present is gym patrons. I've got a few books in the Gold's Gym in Prince George. I've got some in at Rocky Mountain Fitness Outlet in Prince George. This gym here has been kind enough to invite me down twice now to do book signings, which has been very successful. And I've gotten a lot of good feedback about it, so I just hope that they'll tell their friends and maybe give a copy to their brother or their mother or somebody for Christmas presents, and maybe it'll go like branches on a tree.
And your book is really interesting because it goes into detail about what you should eat and vitamins that you should take. Why is it so important to change your eating habits along with your exercise regimen?
Well, probably the biggest change that a person has to make is their attitude toward food in general. Most people will eat because they are hungry, whereas I teach that we should eat to prevent getting hungry. If we allow ourselves to get super hungry late in the day because we've missed breakfast and lunch, say, or had very small, insufficient meals, no vitamins, no fiber, none of the good stuff, then we tend to overeat things that are fast and easy and generally not as healthy as they should be. Whereas if we change that attitude around and start thinking about food as what's powering what's coming next, we've got a heavy morning ahead of us of work or play. So have a big, good, nourishing breakfast and pay attention to what it is. Same thing at lunch. You've still got the afternoon to go. And then along about dinner time, when our activity level usually drops through the evening, we shouldn't be having a big dinner then because we're not powering anything.
Yes.
And then when we're heading for bed, our needs drop to almost zero. So we shouldn't be snacking right till bedtime. We just got to see food totally differently.
How long have you been following these rules?
Oh, 1937. No, I've been practicing this lifestyle for at least 30 years.
And you're 65 now.
I am. I will be in a couple of weeks. It's not pushed me.
And that's crazy because to me you don't look like in your 60s at all. That's amazing, and that's just from following these rules for half your life.
That's right. Well, I started out as an athlete. Unfortunately, I picked two sports that were impossible to make money at. First was cross-country running when I was in high school, and then I went into rowing for 7 years and became a part of a Canadian champion heavyweight 8 back when I was 25. And after that, after those competitive years, I always stayed in shape. Then a few years later, after I'd moved to British Columbia from Ontario, I became a faller in the bush. And I got to tell you, there's no fat fallers, and there's no weak fallers. And to play that game, you've got to be able to be agile and strong, and I won't say beautifully fit, but you've got to be able to do anything. And packing a 30-pound saw around and all your tools all day up and down hills is tough enough. So I always wanted to stay fit in the off season to do that. And I've done that off and on ever since the falling business kind of went away. It hasn't gone away in Terrace, but it has in Burns Lake. It's all done with machines now. But and that's when I opened a gym. I wanted to stay fit so that I could keep taking falling jobs if I got them.
And there's another thing too in your book talking about weight loss with fat reduction and how that all works. Do you mind going into detail about that?
It has been estimated that after the age of 20, most people will lose 10% of their muscle mass per decade as long as they don't do anything new. So if we lose muscle mass, we tend to replace that mass with fat, so we get weaker and weaker. And since muscle is only burned, since fat is only burned in muscle cells, if we lose our muscle, we lose our ability to burn the fat, so we get fatter and fatter as we're losing muscle. And what we have to do is to reverse that spiral. We have to do weightlifting exercises with proper nutrition to build up our muscles so that we can burn fat in those muscles, so that we're increasing our muscle mass, decreasing our fat, and reversing that spiral into obesity and back up to fitness.
What is the main message that you would like somebody who picks up your book and read it to take away from it?
I would like them to take away the fact that it's never too late to start. Even if a person has let themselves go badly for years, they might be anywhere from 10 to 150 pounds overweight. Overweight in their minds. Doesn't mean they're not a nice person, nothing like that. But they might be feeling the ill effects of that. They might be starting to have aches and pains that they shouldn't have. They might have less energy than they would like to have. Maybe they can't chase their kids around like they used to. There's a host of reasons why a person might want to get back in shape. And some people think that it's all over. They think, I'm over the hill, too late for me. And I say it's not true. You should start whenever you have the gumption and the willpower to make the changes. Start slowly, use the suggestions in the book, change your diet a bit, and go on from there. Never too late to start. Plus, by doing that, you're going to be a great example to your children, your grandchildren, if you're as old as I am, anybody around you. People are pretty soon going to start saying, what are you doing differently? Could I have results like that? And the answer is, of course.
That is all for this episode of Open Connection. I'm Sarah Comedina, and thank you for watching. To get a closer look at local events in the Northwest, join me weeknights at 7 right after the news.